Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Examiner Gamer Podcast. I'm your host as always, Tristan, and I am joined today by Shay.
Yo, dog, what happening?
So, in the special street version of the EGP, we decided to hold a very special podcast because Nintendo just had their Direct, and then we have some other stuff to talk about, but mostly that. It's going to be a very news-centric episode. So I'm just going to speed through my latest reviews, and then we'll just get on to the news, and then maybe we'll have some time to talk about some anime in our another segment. But
jumping on in.
Let me just jump on in here. I put up a lot of reviews this week. I have been a busy beaver. Shay, let's start the clock here. I'm thinking Star Fox, and I'll go. So I played this game called Paperbound. It is very similar to Star Wall. It is an arena-based multiplayer game. You jump into books, you fight each other, you can throw scissors or use a pencil to hit somebody and then they disappear, and then it's just a fun little game like Smash Brothers, except less hectic in the fighting. It's not a fighter, it just you bash someone and then they disappear. So that's cool. Check out the review. Story of Seasons, which is a spiritual successor to the Harvest Moon series. I have never played a farming RPG before, and that's exactly what Story of Seasons is. You go into this new town, they're like, hey, you're a farmer now, you're gonna make stuff. You can raise cattle, you can...
no credentials.
No, yeah, he's like, you look like you're a farmer, you got the tan going on, so you make your little avatar, male or female, you just do little miming things. It's very Animal Crossing-esque mixed with The Sims. It's very cute. I didn't think I was going to like it, but it's actually a fairly good RPG. I described it in my review as all the side tasks from an RPG like Final Fantasy condensed into one game, like a spin-off game of its own. That's exactly what Story of Seasons is. If that sounds interesting to you at all, check it out. Next we have Axiom Verge. It is a spiritual successor to Metroid. It is very Metroid from the look and everything. It's a beautiful game. I gave it a 5 out of 5. I was even featured in the trailer for it, and it was super awesome. I was so happy to see that. But to plug it even more, not like I'm getting paid for it, but to plug it even more, it's an awesome game. You can get it for the PS4. Later it will be re-released for the PS Vita. One guy made this for 5 years. One guy.
Really?
One guy. He made the music, he did the graphics, he did everything.
He Katsuhiro Otomo'd it, huh?
Yeah! It is a true work of love. The scientist, he is an experiment and it goes bad. There's an explosion and then you wake up in this alien world and this big, huge, thing is talking to you and you're fighting monsters. Again, plays like Metroid. And, the story, I didn't think it was going to be whatever because it was kind of slow, but then it got to some holy crap moments. Next, we have Game of Thrones. I reviewed the 3rd episode of the Telltale game series. It's going good. Still has some problems with the engine. It's very jittery. If you like the other 2 episodes, you'll like this one. It's much better. And lastly, we have Bloodborne. Bloodborne I have not yet to write a review. I did not get a review copy, so I'm just kind of dinkling with it with my Gamefly copy. Maybe I'll write a review, maybe not. I will give my impressions right now. If you like Dark Souls or Demon Souls, it's pretty much that. You're in a Victorian, London-esque thing, and there's werewolves, and there's blood. It's super hard, amazing, and if you like the other games again, check this one out. So yeah, time, what is that? You know what, it doesn't matter, because we are jointing for some news. So Shay, let us move on to our next segment. Alright, Shay, so the news. So first off, the Nintendo Direct kicked off by announcing the DLC for Mewtwo for Smash Brothers, which we have known for a long time, but they just released the date for it for April 28th. And they also dropped another bomb by announcing Lucas from Mother 3 is going to be available in June for Smash Brothers. Now that one's kind of a bigger surprise that they didn't add him in the original roster, but he was in the last game, so I mean it wasn't that crazy. They also announced that they will be getting their own Amiibos, but no date set for that, so that's pretty cool. I was crossing my fingers as soon as I saw Lucas, like, oh my god, they're going to announce that they're going to release Mother 3 in America.
No.
I mean, they eventually they could, but I think if there was a time, this would have been the time to announce it. So it's not.
There's still a chance it
something
could be
over here.
ported to the 3DS. Maybe they'll give it a facelift.
I doubt that. I think if anything, it'll just come to the Virtual Console on the GBA with some kind of translation. I mean, there is a fan patch out there that's amazing. So it's not like people can't do it, but people want to support the game.
Right.
Speaking of Amiibo, though, they announced the next wave, which is the 4th wave, will be launching on 5/29, which is a couple days after your birthday.
Yes, it is. And Pac-Man will be in it. Who wants Pac-Man?
Yes. And so for this Wave 4, there's Robin, Lucina from Fire Emblem, Pac-Man, Wario, who looks like he's taking a poop and launching himself.
Yes.
Ness from Earthbound, and Charizard. And Ness is an exclusive for GameStop.
Oh.
I reserved my Ness today. I had a friend go and get it for me. I tried to get Lucina as well, and it was sold out. The pre-order was sold out. I was lucky to even get Ness. How could a pre-order... Oh my gosh. The pre-orders went live today at 2 p.m.
Holy crap,
on Best
really?
Best Buy and GameStop.
And
it was supposed to be online too, but it was like Best Buy lets you do it in-store or online, but not for all of them, which is weird. And GameStop, even though they said they're going to have it online, their internet thing crashed, so they didn't have anything online, so you had to go to the store to do it.
Oh, man.
Very fishy to me, but again, I am so happy I got Ness because, just like Shulk, he is an exclusive, so he'll be the hardest one to get, probably.
Yeah. So maybe there was just that much traffic on GameStop's website that it crashed their server?
Yeah, they didn't even put the things on there, so I guess... I don't know, it's very weird. So I think people keep refreshing it to hopefully see it. Next, though, they finally talked about their thing that actually the last podcast that we did together, we talked about this Amiibo Tap, which I know you groaned about very heavily, which was essentially, they explain it now. You can tap any of your Amiibo onto your Wii U for this Amiibo Tap, which is like a free app that's coming out this spring sometime. And you tap it on there, and it'll randomly generate 3 minutes, a random set of retro games, and just give you some random scene in there.
I groaned when I heard that. I was like, "What?" Say a kid who's never played like original Mario or any of those classic NES, SNES games, so they get 3 minutes of something they don't understand
randomly. Yeah, like you can put a Mario thing on there, and like, oh, you're playing Super Metroid.
Yeah,
it's like, that's weird. So I assume these things can be like used once a day, and you can get 3 minutes of a thing once a day.
I hope Nintendo gets really weird with it. Like you put it on, and say you have Kirby, you put it on, and then all of a sudden you get Battletoads or Biker Mice from Mars. Just really bizarre games that no one's ever heard of.
Wow, Nintendo has a crappy library. I'm not buying anything from them. These Amiibo suck. Garbage. I don't know. I'm very conflicted about this. Until I try it out, I reserve judgment. But it's still very weird. Speaking of retro games, though, Mario Maker is looking pretty cool.
That did look
They announced
really cool.
that will be coming out in September. It is basically Little Big Planet. And it's the Little Big Planet that everyone's wanted for a long time, in that everyone used Little Big Planet to make Mario and other classic side-scrolling levels. And now you can just get the whole thing. And you can change it from Mario 1, 2, 3...
1 to current
up to,
Mario.
the current.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. Which looks the ugliest. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
They went up to the current, and I'm like, wow, those look awful.
I think either Super Mario World, or Mario 3 are my favorite looks for Mario.
I'm so conflicted whether or not I like 3 or World better in general. But either one of those is my favorite Mario.
I have more time spent in Super Mario World.
I think so too. That came with my thing. And I don't think I played it that much on the Nintendo for 3. I played more of the revamped version for
All-Star.
But yeah, it looks interesting. I'm not going to make any levels because I'm terrible. I mean, I'll give it a try, but I hope people make some good levels. I'm sure someone will recreate the entirety of Mario in Mario.
Leave it up to the Japanese.
Maker.
I bet they'll do it.
You start and you just die right away. Next we have Yoshi's Woolly World, the complete opposite of Bloodborne. The Yoshi series past the original Yoshi's Island has been very weird. They experimented with the DS, and then they had the new 3DS one, and they kind of fell flat with a lot of reviews.
Yeah.
This one is taking the whole Kirby Epic Yarn aesthetic and making it into Yoshi, so it looks gorgeous. Like a yarn come to life.
I'm actually kind of excited about the Amiibos that they said were going to be coming with them.
Ah, you spoiled it! Ah, man! Yes, I was so excited. Like, this game's like, oh, that's cool. And then they announced, like, we're having Amiibo. And immediately when they said they're getting Amiibo for this game, too, I'm like, this entire thing is going to be all Amiibo. They're so cute. You can get, what colors
blue,
were they? It was,
pink, and original green.
And they're like little yarn Yoshis, just like in the game. And they're not on a stand. They have like their little pad in their butt.
In the butt,
like.
so
they look so cute. I want them all. Oh my gosh! And I really don't like Yoshi that much.
I think the feature, how they're going to feature them,
probably the smartest I've seen.
Yeah, you can play with a friend, or you have a friend.
You can co-op with your a friend on the couch if you want to, or if you're a lonely child, you can buy one of these Amiibos. And you put it on a little thing, and it makes another Yoshi. You got a friend there, and you can play with two little Yoshis, and they will basically follow you around. And you can even eat your partner Yoshi and then throw him at somebody.
Yes.
I thought that was cool. So I'm hoping that this will finally be the Yoshi that makes good on whatever. But if not, I don't know. Next, we have Splatoon, which is Nintendo's newest franchise that they're really banking on very heavily. You are basically a squid girl or guy, and it's a team-based shooter, but it's like Mario Sunshine. You have ink, you're shooting ink at people, and you're your goal is to essentially like dot the map with your ink in order to win, essentially. And you have colored ink. It looks really cool. It's an actual team-based multiplayer that I can get into. It's not war and guts all over the place. It just looks fun.
It's kid-friendly, very kid-friendly, which is going back to Nintendo's old tried-and-true ways.
Yeah, this is their first time really getting into multiplayer in a serious way like this. Yeah. And, of course, again, Amiibo. This is the one that I was really like, I can't believe this is like a franchise that they have not done before. They didn't do it for Codename Steam, even though that's a brand new franchise too. And they're really banking everything on this game, I think, because it's their biggest thing for the Wii U, really, in a long time. And they're like, hey, Amiibos, and we're going to sell it in a 3-pack. And that's pretty cool. They look like awesome figures, actually. Yeah. The game looks interesting, to be sure, and I can't wait to check it out at the end of May when all these gosh darn games are being announced. Well, and some other strange news, Shay. We have some retro games coming. Nintendo 64 and DS games are coming to the Virtual Console for the Wii U. The Nintendo 64s aren't that exciting because those are already on the previous Wii. But the DS games, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You can essentially use the gamepad as the bottom screen, and then the TV is basically your top screen.
It seemed...
Or you can actually use the gamepad vertically and then just use that as the DS completely.
It seemed like they had put a lot of time and development into the incorporating the DS into the system.
It took a long time because I believe they announced it last year. I'm not sure how long it's taken. I want to say around this time when they had a Nintendo Direct last year, but it might have been less time, maybe in the fall or something like that. But it's been a long time since they announced, like, yeah, we're bringing Game Boy Advance and DS games to the Wii U, but not the 3DS, which is very weird because that is a DS.
Yeah.
And GBA games, those are portable anyway. Why not? They announced that Mario 64 and Yoshi's Island DS is available now, and there's a couple other games coming out throughout the months. Mario 64, of course, is the essential 64 game. Whereas Yoshi's Island DS, as I already hinted at, not so much.
Not so much.
Not so
It's a consolation prize, people.
Throw on The World Ends With You on there and you get me going. Next, we got a few indies that were showcased, and there was a lot. It's too many to go through. I'm just going to read all the names, and then we'll just move on, because they went too fast for me to even have like any kind of like opinion on them.
Yeah.
I'm going to brace myself here. Adventures of Pip, Octodad, Mutant Mud, Super Challenge, Don't Starve, Former Point 8, Dimension Remastered, Affordable Space Adventure, Star Wall, Never Alone, Ninja Puzzle Girl, Anti-Pole DX, Life of Pixel, Badlands, Slain, Runbow, Back to Bed, Space Hulk, Race the Sun, Doors, Dot Arcade, Sword of Soldiers 2, Lionel City Builder 3D, Total Temple, The Bridge, Sashimi, Nova 111, and Wind Up Night 2. That's a lot of games.
Take a breath.
Especially because this next trailer is what we've been waiting for. Though it is a very different game than I expected, actually.
I am even more excited now.
Shin Megami Tensei X Fire Emblem received its first actual gameplay trailer. To me, looked like a Sentai version of Shin Megami Tensei in Tokyo, where they transform into Fire Emblem characters and they fight things. It's very colorful, very Persona for Shin Megami Tensei.
I got kind of a later Final Fantasy feel from just that weird motorcycle that the one guy rode in on.
It seemed more lighthearted like a Final Fantasy and
Yeah.
Persona than it did Shin Megami Tensei, because Shin Megami Tensei is freaking dark.
Those games are all dark. Just because they're all bright and colorful visuals doesn't mean it's not going to have its moments where you question
I'm sure the mature things. There's freaking murder all over Persona. All over Persona. That's what the game.
Well,
called.
that was
Persona 4. I mean,
4's entire storyline was about murder.
Murder mystery, but it's also light and colorful. So
Yep.
we'll have to see. Next, we got another dark game, which is a sequel to Fatal Frame for the Wii U. Use the gamepad as a camera.
I was kind of excited for that. I've never played Fatal Frame. They've always looked like they're pretty freaking scary, more suspenseful.
I played the second one for the PS2, and it kind of was a little intense. Also hard to go back to because the controls were a little janky.
Yeah.
But interesting concept for sure. Pokemon Rumble World, a sequel to a game that fell flat completely, which is a Pokemon action RPG where they look like toys.
No. Come on, Nintendo. Give us the Skyrim Pokemon that everyone wants.
It is a free-to-play game, and you get some kind of Poke Gems, which is basically, they're like...
Currency.
It's essentially... They didn't say it, but there's going to be some way where you can buy stuff in the game. So that's for the 3DS. It's coming out next week on the 8th. I don't want to give it any more time. Puzzle and Dragon Z and Super Mario Puzzle and Dragon Edition.
I don't know. I don't want to... I want to reserve judgment. I'd actually try these.
Puzzle and Dragons is a very popular mobile free-to-play game in Japan. Came out over here. Now they're making a 3DS version with Mario as well.
It looks like so many of those games that are exactly the same. Like
Match Puzzle.
Candy Crush.
Yeah, it's exactly that, but there's RPG elements.
Puzzle Quest.
Puzzle Dragons, I don't care about. The Mario one, maybe. I don't know. I just want a brand new Mario RPG. That's what I want. But moving on, we got another 3DS game, Attack on Titan: Humanity in Chains. And this one came out a long time ago, actually, in Japan. And now it's finally coming out. Download only on 3DS. This game looks interesting. It looks like... what's that game? Shadow of the Colossus, I guess, would be... But it doesn't... graphic-wise, it looks pretty dated, but... I don't know, it's interesting to say the least, and it's surprised number actually getting it. Next, is a gripe against Codename Steam for me was not being able to fast forward for enemy turns, and now Nintendo has heard the news, and they're like, alright, fine, here's a patch. Questionable why they didn't actually have that in the first place, because I'm sure people at Nintendo were like, yo dude, you gotta let us fast forward. They're like, no, we gotta ship this on time. Next, we got something that I wish we had actually at our anime thing, which is 2 new Spot Pass games. We got Ultimate Angler, which is a fishing game, and I don't care about that one. Then we got Battleground Z, which is a zombie game, and you're fighting zombies in a town and stuff like that. But you can get each game for, I think, like $5, and then $8 together in a bundle, and that's launching on the 16th of April. So that's pretty cool. Next, the other biggest thing on the docket here, which is Fire Emblem, which is so confusing to me. They're still calling it Fire Emblem here, but in the Japanese version of the Nintendo Direct, they called it If. It's still called If over there. Also, some details came out post this thing. First, what we got in America, they talked about it's coming out for 2016 for the 3DS. It's going to detail with dynamics of choice. There's 2 different factions, basically, you can join. This is the first Fire Emblem where your player-created avatar is the main character, which is kind of cool.
When they were presenting the story, the 2 sides, I think that's probably going to be the biggest selling point for me, at least.
Yeah, and it's also the very first, in terms of my knowledge, it's the first Fire Emblem that has the feudal Japanese era aesthetic. Everything else has been fantasy-based. And, okay, Shay, brace yourself for this, because...
What?
In Japan, there are 4 different versions of this game.
What?
So... okay, so so you can either buy, I can't remember the 2 names of the families, but you can either buy the one family edition or the other family edition, just like, Pokemon Blue or Red kind of thing. And if you want to play the other campaign, you can buy it as DLC at a discounted price. So you don't have to buy both versions of the game to get both stories, essentially. So that's cool. They're also selling special editions of each of those versions. So, again, 4 different versions of those coming out in Japan. Which I doubt we're getting 4 versions, but it wouldn't be surprising if we at least get 4 versions, Fire, which might be the reason why we haven't got a name over here yet, because they don't want to talk about it. They either be like Fire Emblem.
One was Nor.
I wish I wrote down the name of the families, but,
I'm pretty sure. I definitely know the one that they considered evil was Nor.
Hoshigami was the Nor. Yeah. But basically both boxes look blue and red, or like red and gray. But that's very weird. But I'm so excited for this game. I love Fire Emblem. Next, something I'm very conflicted about, but also they kind of stealth announced a big thing in here. But first, let's get to the beginning part, which is Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer.
Come on, Nintendo.
Gag. So essentially, this is not a brand new Animal Crossing game. This is like a downloadable Animal Crossing game where you play a home designer for Animal Crossing characters. You go in there, you buy these cards, which are essentially mission cards, and they call them Amiibo cards. And then they're like, by the way, we are planning to release Amiibo on cards. Basically, they didn't exactly say it, but you read between the lines, they're like, hey, we know that you want certain Amiibo, and we found a way for that. We'll just release cards so that you won't have the cool figure and have a stupid card.
The avatar,
but at least you'll get the figure, or, at least you'll be able to use the card in a way that will work with... you'll get the DLC
like the subtle,
that you would get with
you
the
guys
card.
wanted Marth, right? Eventually, he's coming out again.
Yeah, we might re-release him.
Man,
no one else, but maybe
what about
him.
the Smash Brothers ballot? Mewtwo came out, and then Lucas, and then
man, I totally forgot about that.
You guys have good ideas for who should be the next fighters. Well, go to this website and vote. And in the comments to the video, you just saw a lot of people trying to say who they wanted, and everyone was like, "Oh, pick this character because he deserves to be in it," and then pick this one because he deserves to be in it. And then someone's like, "Hey, you remember Gold? You remember Golden Sun? Pick him. ...
Oh, that'd be cool because it's a forgotten. Also, I was reading a Kotaku article. They picked the 10 best submissions that people were trying to do. They really want Goku in there, which would make sense because it's they work with Bandai Namco on this one, or Namco Bandai. I don't think about switching back and forth. I don't know.
Yeah, because I saw that in the comments too, and it was like, yeah, he could go SSJ4, and I was like, oh, let's break the game, people.
Well, I think it'd be kind of fun to see Goku with all the other people. Anyway, weird tangent. So if you want to register, look up Super Smash Brothers ballot, and you can vote. And they said, like, by the way, keep in mind that we can't have anybody, so basically keep your range to Nintendo people because they probably can't get the rights to a lot of other people. But going back to what we're talking about with the Animal Amiibo cards, they showed off a little sensor that you can buy for your normal 3DS that will let you use Amiibo in the cards. So if you don't want to buy a brand new 3DS, you don't have to. If you want to use Amiibo,
and then it has an infrared
that'll
thing.
launch these cards, and I believe they said fall. So yeah, and then they announced Animal Crossing characters, vehicles, and levels for Mario Kart 8 for release, and for the first time ever, Mario Kart 8 will add 200cc courses, which is the fastest they've ever had since the beginning of this series. That is the news. A lot of stuff happened. There's some other stuff happening, but besides that, it's been kind of slow since the last episode. Hey everybody, it's your host the most, it's Tristan. Are you liking the show so far? I really hope you are. I can't stress this enough, I really want to hear feedback. So drop me a line on YouTube or on my Examiner page, anywhere you feel like it. Let me know what you like about the show, what you don't like, what you want to see added. And of course, if you want to support me, you can always subscribe to the YouTube channel, as well as follow my writing on Examiner.com. That's EXAMINER, Examiner.com. It's the place to go for everything you want to know. Check it out. Now, back to the show. Alright everybody, it's time for Extra Life. We are skipping game ideas because we kind of had a mini game idea in the entire thing of the news segment. And if I would have thought about it before, we would have talked about the Smash Brothers ballot. But whatever, this is a rushed episode. I want to get this new stuff out there while it's timely. And
Mm-hmm.
but I also want to talk about our experiences from Anime Detour, which is a local anime convention that we have here in Minnesota, in our capital Twin Cities. This is your first one ever. This was my 5th. Shay, what did you think?
I think it smelled. There were smells, and BO mixes with pool very strangely. Very strangely indeed.
If you have never been to a convention, that's probably going to be the first thing you think about. And it's, people talk about it and it's like, oh, right, nerd smell, huh? Whatever, stereotype. But then you get there and you're like, wow, powerful. They have a powerful
very
smell.
potent.
We bathed and showered every single day, all four of us.
I felt so dirty.
And I felt like we got dirty as soon as we got to the thing. Like, we didn't even need to shower because it was just going to wash off, like, right away anyway. But, it's always cool to see some cool costumes. I saw Cartman sitting with Solid Snake.
There were a lot of really good cosplay. A lot of really good.
A lot of risque things, too, when you see, like, some super, super skinny girl in, like, a really skimpy costume that looks like she's gonna, like, fall apart because she needs food.
Yeah.
Or just a bigger girl or guy in a costume that is not very flattering. You gotta wear a costume that's, good for your shape,
Right.
Also, it's very strange for us now that I'm gonna be 28 this year.
29.
29 now.
Going on 30, pretty close.
Yeah, and it's so many young people there. It just feels awkward, especially because this is like their first. Like, this is essentially a lot of high schoolers' first getaway from home,
right?
Pre-college, and they're running loose. They are just being crazy.
Going.
A lot of people drinking, and a lot of just randomness,
Drugs.
and just a lot of annoying. Just another one of her friends just like, all right, I forget how annoyed I get with everybody, just because they don't do
common decency.
They don't have common decency. They don't have good hygiene.
They don't understand the whole barrier around people that you need to give them.
They don't know how to act. But that's a lot of the negatives. But one of the positives,
of teenagehood.
There are none. Moving on.
Most of the panels were pretty good.
We went to a lot of panels, a lot of insightful things. Right. Even though maybe some people push it a little bit, it's good to socialize with people that, some people just don't have any friends that like anime, even though anime and games are kind of, I would say games are more popular now than anime, but I think anime is also, a lot of panels talked about this, the golden age of anime, which you can, like, watch anime anywhere.
You can get anything, anywhere.
Or back in the day, you had to get a VHS tape for, like, $30 for, like, 2 episodes, which is crazy.
$300 of untranslated anime.
Raw footage of Sailor Moon.
Battleship Yamato!
The one thing that Anime Detour always does for me is it invigorates my love of anime. It's like, I want to watch this stuff that I never heard about, and it just makes me really want to watch stuff again. I saw the trailer for the new Trigger Studios anime, which they did Kill la Kill before.
Ninja Slayer.
It's kind of the name was kind of like right on the nose, but I love their animation so much that I cannot wait for that to come out.
I was kind of intrigued by the story. So, he's a ninja that hunts ninjas?
Yes, he's a Ninja Slayer, Shay. It's in the name.
Oh, yeah, and it's written by Americans, according to the trailer.
The trailer's so funny. You should definitely look it up. Ninja Slayer trailer. Not the animation trailer, the freaking trailer. There's the Japanese guys, they had, like, VR goggles on.
They translated it over Twitter.
Yeah, I don't know. It's if you've never been to a convention before, and you live in Minnesota, I definitely recommend you go to Anime Detour. Just brace yourself. Maybe you're one of these people that are annoying, so you're like, annoying people? Wow, I can't wait to go see them. But we play it up just because we're grumpy old men. But really, it is fun, especially for maybe younger ages, because it's very you can explore a lot. It's cool. You just gotta have the right mindset, not be grumpy, and again, have manners, be mindful, freaking wash yourself.
Definitely wear deodorant. Come on, people, it's not that hard.
And if you love video games but you haven't watched anime before, try and jump in at some point, because most video games, especially RPGs, are anime.
Yeah.
With the whole
they're
art
very
and everything.
very heavily influenced.
And if you like those RPGs, like, like we talked about Tales or Final Fantasy.
Oh, frick. Tales actually has a professional company do their, like, sequences.
I recommend, if you like video games but you don't know where to jump in, watch an anime of a video game. Watch the Persona 4 Golden anime. It's really good. Alright, well, let's move on to the ending here. right. So, Shay, what did you learn?
What did I learn about what?
I think of all of this, I was super hyped for Fire Emblem. That's the one game I really want. And the Amiibo. I cannot stop, but please, Nintendo, make Amiibo easier to get, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Also, World Ends With You on Wii U Virtual Console for DS. Do that, please.
Why not have The World Ends With You as part of Smash Brothers?
Oh, how about The World Ends With You, a sequel for the Wii U?
The World Ends With who?
You!
Oh, guest starring Sora.
Do you like Akira? What? Do you like Pokemon? I don't know what that is. Then presenting Akira cross Pokemon.
Oh, God.
Anyway, so that was an awesome episode. Nintendo, you brought me back from the hordes of bad news. But now you got some good stuff out there. So you got me hyped. E3 is right around the corner, and it's going to be awesome. Thank you for joining me, Shay.
Thank you for having me.
Good to have you back on. Can't wait for you to come back on episode 9. Probably.
Yeah, episode 9.
It seems like the trend is the two episode trend in 3s. Then you're just not gonna be on ever again.
Never again. Brian's in a lot of episodes.
Nah, gotta throw a wing in there. I'm gonna be mad.
Oh, he's just gonna be. Hey, you know what they should make? Final Fantasy 9.
Today on Game Ideas, what happened?
What happened?
We're saying so many obscure references right now, we gotta end. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack, boom, ba-jack.